Oh my god.
Hey guys, what's going on? Tour Cruise here, checking in with.
Goodness.
And where are we today, Tuan-chan?
We are going to Doi Suthep.
Doi Suthep,
Yes.
your favorite hill climb.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So today we're testing out some new climbing gears. We just got some brand new absolute black subcompact chain rings installed. And before, Tuan-chan used to hate this climb because her gear wasn't small enough.
Yeah.
But now we've gone pretty small. She used to be on a 50-34 and now she's on a 46-30 with an 1130 cassette on the back. So hopefully today's climb will be a little bit easier. Let's go ahead and get started with the ride.
Let's go.
Let's go. So the Doi Suthep climb starts right here next to the Chiang Mai Zoo. So right after you go through this gate, that's when we start. We're just going to be doing a nice little easy spin up the climb today, showing you guys some of the fun spots. And we'll be doing some later videos, doing some hard efforts up this hill as well. So let's go ahead and start with the climb. So here we go, we're going through the gate to start. So I'm going to do my best to try and hold the camera while climbing today. It's not an easy climb, but hopefully with these smaller gears. So my gears aren't quite as small as Tuan-chan's. I'm down to, I'm using an absolute black 48-32. She's on the 46-30, so hopefully I have enough gear to spin up the climb and get some nice camera shots. So actually the beginning of the climb is one of the toughest sections. It's a pretty steep gradient. But we get to pass this nice little temple area, and there's another temple area up near the top. So there's actually a couple different routes that you can do up this mountain. There's the short route to the lookout point, which is about like 20 or 30 minutes if you're going pretty fast. Then the next usual stopping point is the temple, which is about 11K up, and that's about 30 minutes to an hour, depending on your fitness level. And then you can go up to the palace, which is a few kilometers further, and that's about, what, 45, 50 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on your fitness level. So we're just gonna be spinning up today, and Tuan's not even in her smallest gear yet. Mada mada gear aru ne.
Oh.
前と比べたら違う？
違う。もっと楽に。まだ一番後ろの。
ギア使ってないな。So that's good. This is one of the steeper sections, and she hasn't had to use her smallest gear yet. There's a really nasty steep section up near the last temple, so she'll probably be using that gear then. It's so much nicer going up this at like this casual pace compared to doing like intervals or all-out efforts, which is what we're normally doing up this climb. But we're coming off of a long training block. We've had a tough 3 weeks, our biggest 3 weeks ever in the last few years. So yeah, we're just doing a nice little recovery spin up the mountain, if that makes sense. And another thing I'm really excited about is I've switched to the power meter now. So I've got my power data while climbing, and it's really fun to start training with data again. And I want to try doing some data overlays on some videos moving forward. I used to do that when I had a nice computer, but now we're editing everything on the iPad. I got to figure out a way to do that on the iPad. If anyone knows, please leave a comment. I used to use the Garmin Verb application on desktop, and that worked great for adding power overlays on the cycling videos, but I don't think they support it, that same feature, on the iOS. So I got to figure out a new way to do that. I think it'd be really cool to show some data, some power heart rate data up these climbs, especially when we start doing some PR efforts. Speaking of PR efforts, our goals up the climb, my goal is breaking 30 minutes solo, and Tuan-chan's goal is now to break 50 minutes. We're getting pretty close. What's Tuan-chan's time up the Doi Suthep now?
53.
53 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's got 3 more minutes to go. And for me, I'm at about 32 minutes. So I've got about 2 more minutes to get down to my goal time. We'll be doing some more interval efforts up here next week. So it'll be nice to have the smaller gear so we can recover on the off sections on the intervals. Before I was on the 50-34 11-28, which is fine if you're powering up this, but it's not a great gear to recover on. So we're just making our way up the climb. We got some nice bike signs here. Can't read this one though. The nice thing about this climb is it's got 2 lanes for climbing and 1 for descending. So generally you can ride side by side. It's usually better to ride this during less busy traffic times. We're riding midday today. We came after our class, so it is a little bit busier, but still usually you have the whole left lane to yourself. Those trucks are pretty annoying just because of all the diesel fumes that they let out. The nicer, more modern cars are pretty nice. They don't stink too much, but there's a lot of old trucks here and old bikes here that don't seem to be regulated at all, and they let out some nasty pollution, especially the red buses. It's not the most pleasant feeling, especially when you're doing an all-out effort and you can barely breathe, and all of a sudden a nasty black cloud of smoke. So if you leave early though, there's not many cars like that, so you can avoid them if you leave earlier. Oh no. It's kind of ironic because I was first excited to see the trucks when first moving here, because they don't really have any trucks in Japan other than the tiny little white trucks. So I was excited to see them, but now not so much. So even though this is a recovery ride, we're still pushing over 200 watts for some sections just because it does kick up a bit. Feels good?
Yeah.
She's still spinning a pretty high cadence. What's your cadence now, Thuong?
78.
78?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. She's gonna turn into Orora-kun. High cadence climb. So definitely feels good to have some nice climbing gears for her right now. When she was first on the 50-34-11-28, she was not having a very high cadence going up this climb. So it's nice to see some good form, some good cadence, some good spinning. Spin to win. About 25 minutes into the climb so far. We're passing another nice little viewing spot. We like to stop here, take some pictures sometimes. Lots of beautiful temples here and different statues, and just, yeah, the architecture is really cool. Completely different style than what we're used to, different style than Japan. Here we are making our way to, this is the viewpoint. There's a nice little break point here where you can get a nice view down of the city. We're not stopping going up today, that's today's goal. We want to do a continuous climb all the way up to the top, no breaks, which usually she likes her breaks going up this climb, but hopefully with these lighter climbing gears, she'll be okay to go all the way to the top. So about 35 minutes, casual pace up here. I think a hard effort for her to here is about 30 minutes, so a little bit slower than her usual pace, but hopefully she's feeling better. Scareta?
No, a little.
A little?
Yeah.
But you can continue?
Yes.
No problem?
No.
Okay, good. This is always a pleasant sign to see. So we're about 7 kilometers to the palace, 3 kilometers to the temple. We got a short little downhill section here, and then it's flat for a little while, and then we get to the nasty steep section at the temple. Luckily, we're doing a rest ride today, so on a hard effort, we'd normally push it in the big ring and just, yeah, slam it down this, get as much speed as possible. We're passing by another nice viewpoint here on the side. And this is one of my least favorite signs, yet also one of my favorite signs. We got 1 kilometer to the temple. That means just 1 more K to go for our goal climb. But the last 500 meters of this kilometer is the toughest part of this climb. It is not fun. We're going into the last little bend before the steep section. We've got the nice relaxing water sounds of this waterfall here. Yeah, you know it's not good when you see that sign. Hopefully this will be a little bit easier today. When you're doing an all-out effort up this climb and you finish up this nasty steep section, it is pretty nasty. You don't have any power left and you've got no choice but to just mash it up this steep climb. Luckily, on a lower effort, it's not so bad. And we got some smaller gears today. 今日もっと楽になるかな?
Yeah. すごい楽になったよ。
Until recently, normally she needed to take a break halfway up the climb, but luckily with these smaller gears, she's able to spin up the climb pretty comfortably. She's taken the pro line, go wide. Here we go. So the grade is slowly increasing, catching up on the Wahoo, 15%. It's not always the most accurate. Whew. Having fun?
A little.
A little. And this is where it gets really tough. I'm telling her to try and keep up her cadence. So even though she's in the smaller gears, this section is still pretty tough. This is the final stretch to the temple. And we're gonna keep riding past this. But we'll show you guys this section, it's really cool. It's kind of funny how they have these like flags crossing across. It's basically like a finish line. So you got the goal on site. This is, yeah, we're still averaging like 15% right here. Not easy. And they got some different shops here. We've climbed up this mountain like a dozen times or so already. We've still never stopped to go to any of the stores, and we've actually never checked out the temple here. Kyukei shinai yo? No break. Keep going. So yeah, I think you can go up here and check out the other parts of the temple area. We got to do that one day, but not today. We're going to keep going all the way up to the palace. Thuong's got a pain face on now. Itai, so you're tired? Yeah, she pushed it a little bit on that last climb. You have to push it. There's no way to go up that easy. And here we go. We got 4K to go to the palace. Oh, geez. So this is our first time riding up to the palace together, which I'm pretty excited about. And it's only Thuong's second ever time going up there. Actually, this is both of our second time going up there. We both went up there separately, but last time Thuong took a break.
Yeah.
So this is her first time climbing all the way, no breaks. Oh my God. But we got a nice snack, special present waiting at the top. If you noticed, in the back here, in Thuong's back pocket, we've got a cup here. This is full of some chocolate protein, so we'll get some nice recovery at the top of the climb. And this section is still pretty tough. You can see we're still climbing over like 12% grade, 13% grade, 14, 15, oh geez. It just keeps going up. Whew. We're approaching 2 kilometers to the palace. Thuong is not happy. So she did pretty good. She was able to spin up to the temple. Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
But after the temple, it's a little steep. There's some long 10% plus sections that are pretty tough. Her cadence has started to slow down a little bit. And this last section's getting a little tough for her. We've climbed almost 900 meters so far. I think by the end of this we'll be over 1,000 meters of climbing, and yeah, just once you get to that last turn to the temple, it gets insanely steep. The nice thing about after that is you do get this one lane road here, but there's a lot of tree canopy here. The air is a lot more fresh. It's a bit cooler up here. And although a car did just pass us, there's a lot less traffic up here. And yeah, the cooler weather especially is really nice. Ooh, Thuong's getting better with her standing form. What do you guys think? She can only do it for a few seconds though. I'm trying to force her to do some standing drills. The other day I made her do a 5-minute standing drill. How was the 5-minute standing drill, Thuong?
Hard.
Hard?
Yeah, because
Did you like it?
no, I don't know.
Yeah, I think Thuong's got some decent potential, but there's some areas she definitely needs to work on. Her form, being able to get out power and comfortably do a standing position will help her a lot. I think once she learns how to do that, she'll be improving her times significantly since she can rest, use some different muscles, and go a little bit faster in the steep sections, which are really holding her back right now. Just a few more of these tough switchbacks. Whose idea was it to do a recovery ride up a giant mountain? This is where the finish line was for our tour to CMU for the final mountain stage, but I think the palace is just over this bend up here. So that's where we're going to be riding to today. Almost there. Here we go. 1,000. 1000 meter nobotta. We've got 200 meters to go. I guess you can keep going all the way up to Doi Pui. 4 more K. We'll save that for another day. I think Thuong Chan is cooked for today. The final stretch. Yeah, not easy. We're holding over 12-13% gradient right now. The climbs here in Thailand do not mess around. All right, last turn. Oh, she's downshifting. That's a good sign.
Oh my god.
Saigo, saigo. Oh, there's the power. And here we are. We made it up to the palace. Otsukare-sama.
Otsukare.
All right, good job, Thuong Chan.
Good job for me.
We finished our climb, so now it's protein time. So Thuong Chan carried this bottle all the way up the climb.
Yeah.
And we got some leftover water from our water bottle here. We don't normally carry protein up mountains, but we've had a long training block, so we're trying to get in some extra protein today. Good. Always good to get in some protein recovery drink after a workout. And it's a long descent back down the mountain, so it'll be a while before we can get any more food. I think they do have some restaurants up here too, though. Oh yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna rest up a little bit here, make our way down, and continue our ride back home. We're gonna finish up this video here today, though, so let's ask Thuong Chan her final thoughts. What does she think about the new gears, the new absolute black subcompact oval chainrings? How were they?
すごい楽になった。すごい感じた。すごい楽。
Is easier?
Yes.
Yeah. So you're happy with the new gears?
Yes. I'm so happy when I get new.
Climbing gears?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is my first time riding oval chainrings. I definitely notice a difference when I'm pedaling, especially slowly. I think when you're spinning at a fast cadence, you don't notice it too much, but when you're spinning at a slower cadence or climbing up the hill, I definitely noticed a big difference with these oval chainrings. And pretty happy to be on some smaller subcompact climbing gears. It should allow us to do some more climbing exercises together. And I'm really glad we were able to climb together today. So this is like my zone 1, zone 2. I was about 100, 110 beats per minute for my heart rate. And Thuong, what was your heart rate today?
140.
About 140?
Yeah.
So when we ride together, Thuong needs to work a little bit harder than me, but hopefully her fitness will continue to increase so we can do more rides comfortably together so she's not always tired. Oh, hello. There's some nice dogs here. Yes, no food, sorry. All right, guys, before you leave, make sure to give the video a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, let us know down in the comments. Also, go check out Thuong's profile on Strava. You can cheer her on, give her some kudos. She's been riding a lot. We also want to say a special thank you to all of our awesome supporters over on Patreon. And thanks to your guys' support, we're able to continue filming these videos. And also, of course, a big thank you to all of our sponsors, Kaze Bikes, Santic Clothing, and also a big thank you to Absolute Black for providing these chainrings to us for us to use on our rides. That's it for today's video, guys. We'll see you next time here on Tuo Cruise.
Bye-bye.